Hello students, how are you all? Stay safe. Already we saw tissues part 1 about plant tissues. Last part in it special tissues in plants. So now we are going to see about that in part 2. Along with that, animal tissues. Different types of animal tissues: epithelial tissues, connective tissues, skeleton tissues and vascular tissue. All these subtopics are also we are going to see in this video. See this diagram, human body shows where which type of tissues are found, that also shown here. Special tissues in plants. There are two types of special tissues, protective and glandular. Protective, from the term itself you can understand, mostly present in the outer layer or outer surface, epidermis. Cells of epidermis are covered with cutin, that is nothing but cuticle. Generally single layer, but in xerophyte it is multi-layered. Why? To reduce the rate of transpiration because of scarcity of water in those areas. Then presence of stomata in epidermal cells of leaves and green stem. Second one, glandular tissue. This tissue mainly helps in secretion of substances. Mainly it is found in insectivorous plant. You studied in 7th standard about it, pitcher plant. There glandular tissues are found. Animal tissues. Animal tissues broadly classified into 4 types. What are they? Epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. Yes, first epithelial tissue. It covers the entire body externally as well as internally. It forms a protective covering on various organs of the body like body parts like lungs, alimentary canal, mouth, heart, kidney, etc. The cells are tightly packed and no intercellular space because of cementing substance. It forms a continuous sheet. Then this epithelial tissue first classified into 2 layers based on the arrangement of layers, that is simple epithelium and stratified epithelium. Then based on the shape, the epithelial tissue divided into 3: squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium and columnar epithelium. On the basis of their function, again they are classified into 2 types: ciliated epithelium and glandular epithelium. On the basis of arrangement of layers, the epithelium divided into 2 types, simple and stratified. Simple epithelium, in the diagram also you can see single layer of tissues are arranged. Okay, this is found in esophagus and mouth. Stratified epithelium, cells are arranged in more than one layer, especially in skin. On the basis of shape, the cells are divided into 3 types. Already we saw squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium and columnar epithelium. Squamous epithelium. The structure A shows large flat cells and arranged like tiles, present in the lining of lungs, alveoli, kidney, blood vessels, esophagus, mouth, skin, etc. Then second one, you can see cube-like structure. So that is called a cuboidal epithelium. Mainly it provides mechanical support. Present in nephron of kidney. I think you know what is nephron, structural and functional unit of kidney. Third one, column-like, that is columnar epithelium, composed of elongated cells which are placed side by side like column. Mainly for absorption and secretion purpose it is helpful. Present in the intestine. On the basis of function, again the epithelial tissues are divided into two types: ciliated epithelium and glandular epithelium. See, in the first diagram you can see at the top hair-like structures, that is only called cilia. It helps in movement. Okay, for example, even in our nostrils inside you can see the hair-like structure. It helps to push out the dirt and also dust. Okay, so we can see here presence of hair-like structures on its external surfaces. Cilia can help move, and their movement pushes the mucus forward to clear it. Present in the lining of respiratory tract and internal area. Next one, glandular epithelium. Gland-like means for secretion, mainly secretion of chemical substances. Mostly it is found in sweat glands, oil glands and glands of stomach. Glandular tissue, a portion of epithelial tissue fold inward and multicellular gland is formed. Generally we can say the functions of epithelial tissue: it helps in protection of various parts of our body, also protect the underlying cells from drying, injury, bacterial and chemical effects, helps in absorption of water and nutrient and the elimination of waste products. They may receive stimulus, that is sensory epithelium we can say. They may be secretory in function, means we can say that is glandular epithelium. They may produce gametes, mostly found in reproductive organ, that is called germinal epithelium. Sensory epithelium found in olfactory and eyes. Olfactory means nose. Connective tissue. Connective tissue first broadly classified into three: connective tissue proper, skeleton tissue and vascular tissue. Under connective tissue proper, there are four: areolar tissue, adipose tissue, tendons and ligaments. Under skeleton, cartilage and bone. Under vascular tissue, blood and lymph. We can see one by one. It is the most abundant body tissue because connective, so different parts of the body connected by it. It provides structural framework and also support, helps in body defense, fat storage and transport of materials, helps in binding, supporting and packing together of various organs of the body. Yes, under connective tissue proper, four types. First one, areolar tissue. It is mainly found between skin and muscles, around blood vessels and nerves, and also in bone marrow. What is the use of bone marrow? From bone marrow, especially RBC, red blood cells, or we can say blood cells are produced. It fills the space inside the organs and also support and helps in repair of tissues. Wherever the tissues are breaking or damaging, it is very helpful. Adipose tissue. From the term itself, we can understand adipose. That is just below the skin, fat deposit. It stores fat beneath the skin and between internal organ. It acts as an insulator. Even in whale, it is known as blubber, helpful for maintaining the body temperature also. Skeleton tissue. Two, that is tendon and ligament. Tendon. Tendon is helpful for connecting muscle to bone. Easily you can remember this, TMB. Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank. Tendon, M. Muscle to bone. It is mainly made up of thick white fibrous tissue. It is strong with limited flexibility. Ligaments. For what purpose? For connecting bone to bone. BBL. Bachelor of Business and Law. Like that way you can remember easily. BBL. Bone to bone with the help of ligaments. Made up of yellow elastic and fibrous tissue. They are very flexible also. Skeleton tissue, that is cartilage and bone. It is solid part, semi-rigid and flexible. The cartilage cells are called chondrocytes. It is found in the tip of nose and external ear. Because of that only we are able to fold the ear. It is also present in cartilaginous fissures. Even in this diagram, you can see wherever the cartilage is found. Even in the knee region, ankle region, in the nose region, ear, because this cartilage gives somewhat flexibility. So it also helpful for movement. Then next one, bone. Bone is very strong, non-flexible, solid and rigid. Then heavy deposition of salts of calcium and phosphorus found. Then bone cells are called osteocytes. Cartilage cells are called chondrocytes. Bone cells are called osteocytes. Differences between tendon and ligament. Tendon made up of thick and white fibrous. Ligament made up of yellow fibrous tissue. Then tendon non-elastic, strong also, but ligament is flexible and elastic. Then tendon for connecting muscle to bone, then ligament for connecting bone to bone. Then next, differences between bone and cartilage. Bone is very strong, cartilage is less strong. Bone is non-flexible, that is a rigid in nature, but cartilage is flexible, semi-rigid. Then in bone, heavy deposition of salts like calcium and phosphorus found, but in cartilage, no deposition of salts. Then bone cells are called osteocytes, cartilage cells are called chondrocytes. Vascular tissue. It includes blood and lymph. Blood. Already you know blood is a connective tissue. It is red in color due to the presence of red blood cells. Blood is the softest tissue in the body. It is slightly alkaline. Its pH value is 7.4. It constitutes about 8% of our body weight. 4 components are present. That is RBC, WBC, platelets and plasma. Okay. RBC, that is red blood cell, otherwise known as erythrocytes, or we can say red blood corpuscles. Usually the mammalian RBC has oxygen carrying capacity because of the presence of hemoglobin. This pigment only gives red color to the blood. Heme is iron part, globin is protein part. So iron rich food we must take, then only hemoglobin amount will be normal. If it become reduced, then only the people are getting anemia. WBC, very important, white blood cells or white blood corpuscles are called leukocytes. It is amoeboid in shape with the nucleus. 5 types are there: lymphocytes, monocytes, basophil, eosinophil and neutrophil. It helps in indigestion of harmful bacteria and dead cells. Because of that it is known as police force of our body, because it fights against the antigens or the foreign particles or disease causing organism enter inside our body. So WBC is very important to increase the immune system to fight against the foreign particles. Platelets or thrombocytes. It is non-nucleated cell, oval or biconvex in shape, helps in clotting of blood. Whenever any wound is forming, the blood exposed to air, then clotting of blood takes place. If there is no clotting, continuous oozing of blood, that is called hemophilia disease, found out from Royal Elizabeth family. Because of that, the name of the disease is royal disease, because from Queen Elizabeth family, royal family found out. So the disease name is royal disease. If it occur, then it may lead to even death. So platelets or thrombocytes are very essential for clotting of blood. Even though inside the blood vessel, along with blood, it is also found, but no clotting takes place because there is no direct contact between the platelet and the atmospheric oxygen. When wound is forming, the blood comes out, there is a contact between atmospheric air and blood. Therefore, clotting occurs. Next one, blood plasma. It is the liquid part of the blood which forms 60% of the blood. It contains all blood cells, WBC, RBC and platelets. Along with that, salt, glucose, amino acid, protein, dissolved gases, hormones, digested products, excretory products, for everything transported with the help of this blood plasma. Blood is very important for transporting all this. Then serum. It is a blood plasma from which the blood clotting protein, that is fibrinogen, is removed. Then we can say this is a serum. Functions of blood. Helps in transport of oxygen, carbon dioxide, amino acid, glucose, water, waste, hormones, etc. Then helps in maintenance of body temperature, protect against diseases. It prevents loss of blood during injury. See this diagram, the first one, you can see the marrow, red color. That is called bone marrow. From that area, only blood cells are produced. See first one, RBC, red blood cells. Second, you can see the white blood cells. Then you can see the platelets. All these are produced from bone marrow. Once in 120 days, RBCs are produced. Here, the shapes of different WBC, platelets, erythrocytes. Erythrocytes is nothing but RBC. Platelets, just like a cone or in shape for clotting of blood, very helpful. Then monocytes and lymphocytes, neutrophil, eosinophil and basophils are types of WBC. Lymph. It contains plasma and WBC. It is light yellow in color. It flows in one direction, that is from tissue to heart. It helps in fighting against diseases and infections. Thank you. We can see the remaining in the next slide.